Hi everyone, it's Nat here, and today I want to show you how you can download sounds, free loops, and things like that from various websites and import them into Logic Pro X. And I'm also going to show you how to utilize a nifty feature called the Groove Track. So I am on freesound.org and I've searched for Creative Commons loops, which means that I am free to use these. They are copyright free. I found a little loop here that I think might be interesting. So I'm going to download this loop and I'm going to pop it on the desktop there for the moment. And there we are, it's downloaded. So I would like to use this loop in Logic here. So let's create a new session. And what I would like to do is create an audio track because it's an audio loop. And if I had an already open session with a bunch of tracks and I just wanted to import some audio in, so I'm just creating a bunch of tracks here. So let's say this was a composition I was working on. What you need to do is just create a new audio track here and then move this cursor where you want to import the loop, and I'm going to go File, Import, Audio File. And then I'm going to find that loop there that I popped onto the desktop. Click Open, and mute everything else. Let's have a quick listen to this loop. So currently I don't really know what the beats per minute of this loop is. So I'm just going to take a guess. Let's have a listen using this metronome here. Yeah, I thought so. That was a good guess, 76. And I kind of guessed that because I lined it up with a bar line here, and it says it was created using a loop pedal. So I'm assuming it's going to be on some kind of a grid. And now that we have the correct beats per minute, that's basically it. If you go ahead and just go save this project, it'll save that into the Logic folder, the session folder. So I've got a drum kit here. I want to show you something nifty called the Groove Track. Because if you import a loop and it doesn't quite fit in with your song groove-wise, you can warp this audio automatically to fit another track that you say this is the groove track. So let's see what this drummer track sounds like here. So that's the basic loadout for the drummer kit, the drummer track there. So what we want to do to use the groove track is to right click anywhere on these track headers, anywhere we want, just right clicks anywhere. And under the track header components, I want to make sure that I do have down the bottom here the groove track selected. That will then give me an option. If I hover over the track, the number of the track, there's a star that appears. And then basically I'm telling Logic I want this track, whichever one you click on, that's the groove track. And then, so this drummer region is now the groove track, and now anything else that I tick will follow along with the groove of that track. It will warp the audio slightly. So to show you that visually, when I click that, you can see that this waveform actually changes down the bottom. It's kind of warping it. So let's have a listen to those two together. So you can see it's really locked in the groove of this loop that I've got, which is really cool, to those drums. And if I changed the feel of these drums completely and gave it a really swung feel, you'll notice that it will re-render this audio. It'll re-warp it to now continue to match this groove track. So in that instance, it wasn't really a desirable outcome with the audio. It sounded a bit sort of messed up and a bit glitchy, but that might even be what you're going for. Who knows? It works really well when the loop is like working fairly well, but you just want to tighten it up a little bit. Or you can also just experiment with it and see what kind of outcome you can get. So then I can always switch that off, and that will revert back to its original feel of the loop, the raw audio file. And I can use this groove track. I can say that this loop is actually the groove track. So if I click on that star, I'm saying, no, I want the groove from this loop as the main groove of my track. And then I want the drums to follow along. So let's see what that does now. So you can see, even though I've got that swing all the way up, it's not swinging anymore because it's taken its cues from this groove track, which is a fairly straight feel. So that's how you can download audio from anywhere, import it into Logic, and then also how you can utilize that fantastic hidden feature called the groove track.